Remember that speech? It's really the most memorable part of Any Given Sunday that Al Pacino gives.
Give me an inch.
He's like, you got to fight for every inch, and you got to look at the guy next to you. It's the difference between winning and losing. Pretty much every GOP staff right now and all these campaigns should have that playing on in the background because Georgia, Nevada, Arizona, Pennsylvania, and we can't even focus in on all the House races there's some close House races here in New York that could go either way, for example. We got to win these ones, Clay.
We have got good news on the horizon as it pertains to the Senate battlegrounds. 46 days out, Adam Laxalt, who I believe and Buck believes will be the next senator from the great state of Nevada, is going to be with us in the third hour of the program. New polls that are out putting him in the lead to potentially knock out a Democrat seat there. If you consider Herschel Walker as well, there is now strong evidence, regardless of what might happen in Pennsylvania, that Republicans have a very good chance, at minimum, to pick up 2 seats, which would help to alleviate, even if there were one lost, which we don't think there's necessarily going to be, but all of that is coming and is a big deal and big news in a positive way. What is not positive, unfortunately, if you break down everything that is going on right now, what is not positive is that we are in a situation now where, unfortunately, the stock market has now dropped below 30,000 for the first time since all the way back in 2020. You also are now dealing with surging mortgage rates, which are well over 6% on the 30-year, and inflation remains near a 40-year high. As was said back in 1992 by the Ragin' Cajun James Carville, it's the economy, stupid. Also, not just the economy. We also have murders and violent crime continuing to surge across the country in 2022, skyrocketing since 2019, and the border is an unmitigated disaster that is impossible to defend. Ron DeSantis has made it a major topic of discussion. All of these things in a basket are massive issues and point towards what is occurring right now as we sit 46 days out. Buck, it feels like everybody is circling back around and the focus is moving from Donald Trump and whatever happens with Mar-a-Lago and whatever criminal investigations or civil investigations might be going on. Everything is moving off of Trump. It feels like abortion is receding substantially. It's the economy, it's the border, and it's crime, which is what is captivating most of the American electorate.
And yet I worry, Clay, about the GOP as an entity and its ability to really focus in and make the case in these final weeks. I mean, you probably saw this morning Minority Leader McCarthy unveiling the Commitment to America, which to me, I understand contract with America. You know, I understand there's a history here of that they're trying to hearken back to. But notice the other side will just call the Green New Deal spending extravaganza and higher IRS bill the Anti-Inflation Act, right? The Inflation Reduction Act. And we call our, at this moment in time, the GOP rolls out the Commitment to America. Yeah, we kind of assume if you're an elected official, you're supposed to be committed to America. When Biden rolled out his $2 trillion spending binge, what did they call that? $1.9 trillion for the fact checkers. The American Rescue Plan, right? The sense of either urgency or defiant propaganda in what they put forward versus our side's kind of like, yeah, we're going to reduce taxes and deregulate. And, it's no, we are going to turn around the cratering economy, the reckless, insane, lawless border, and make it safe for you, your family, your business, your community to exist without crime, public urination, drugs everywhere, lunatics running around naked, throwing things at you. The GOP has got to understand what time it is. And I think there are some candidates who do. I think we look in on the, for example, the Dr. Oz Fetterman race. Dr. Oz, he's got a plan. He's executing. He's out there. He's going for it, right? I think we're going to have Adam Laxalt on. Let's talk to him about how he is with the latest polls, what we have here, basically tied, dead heat. The latest poll that I see here
he's up in the two most recent polls that just came out.
Within the margin of error, right? So it's 47-46 against Cortez Mastro. So, yeah, he's up a point, but, a point is not enough to feel particularly confident on. Senator Kelly and Masters, again, within the margin, right? Within the margin of error, which I think is 2 points, 48-47. Warnock Walker tied in the poll, 46-46. So every single one of these races, it turns, you know what, Clay, actually, you'll like this. Remember that speech? It's really the most memorable part of any given Sunday that Al Pacino gives.
Give me an inch.
He's like, you got to fight for every inch, and you got to look at the guy next to you. It's the difference between winning and losing. Pretty much every GOP staff right now and all these campaigns should have that playing on in the background because Georgia, Nevada, Arizona, Pennsylvania, and we can't even focus in on all the House races there's some close House races here in New York that could go either way, for example. We got to win these ones, Clay, and we got to focus on what matters. And people they have to be reminded. It's not enough for the headlines. They have to be reminded of how we got here. Bad Democrat leadership.
Yeah, and I think in particular on the economy, the graphs kind of speak for themselves. We have dropped, unfortunately, today the stock market's down another 400, 500 points. We have dropped now below where we were in December of 2020. So if you were a huge Democrat, and if you said, thank the Lord, we've got Donald Trump out of office now, the adults are back in the room, and you had poured all of your money into the stock market on January 20th or 21st of 2021 when Joe Biden got inaugurated, you would have lost a lot of money now. And that's relatively rare, Buck, where you have somebody come into office for 2 years, the stock market be down, right? Over time, stock market goes up, but we have created such a bad economic situation with Joe Biden in the White House, with the money that has been spent, with the lack of prioritizing things that matter. And now I think we're going to have, frankly, and I hate to say it, but I think 2023 is going to be an economic disaster of a year. I really do. And I think that a lot of the worst of the Joe Biden economy, unfortunately, Buck, is not going to hit in time for this midterm. We're going to get a lot of it in November, December, and then all into early parts of 2023. It's going to be really bad.
They're very clearly hoping that they can just hold on for dear life here politically as the economy, everyone I talk to, the bulls, the bears, the people who know Wall Street super well, who are usually very pessimistic, and the ones who are very optimistic. Everybody that I know, I grew up in New York City, my family's a Wall Street family. I know tons of people that work in the financial sector, and they're saying it's about to get ugly out there. Like, there's not a single person who's saying it's going to be good, Clay. It's just a question of, are we going to see unemployment at 6%? 9%? Is it, where is this heading in terms of the damage as part of this reset, dare I say? And even, think about it this way. You're in the honeymoon period of a presidency is the first 6 to 12 months. We're not even yet at the 2-year mark. And here is the White House's chief spokesperson, Karine Jean-Pierre, saying, the president realizes, it's really rough out there right now.
So the president understands that when it comes to the economy, he understands how much that's crushing families. He gets it, that people are sitting around their kitchen table and trying to figure out how are they going to pay for their groceries. And so that's why he's made that his number one economic priority. If you think about how hard he fought for the Inflation Reduction Act, for some people who don't know what that is, it is going to bring down costs for prescription drugs. I think people may have a senior citizen or grandpa or grandma at home, and they know they're paying thousands of dollars a month just to get that prescription drug. So this is what this is going to do. It's going to cap that to $2,000 a year. That's a game changer. That is a game changer for so many Americans. You think about energy costs coming down, and you think about the gas prices that we have been able to fight so hard because of the president's historic, policies that he's put forward. We were able to bring gas prices down about $1.30 per gallon every day this summer. And so it's on his mind.
It's on his mind. He knows how bad things are. Can I just say, Clay, if we were just able to go back in time 2 years and say, hey, a little vision into your future while Joe Biden said, middle class out, top down, making everything normal and better, that his press secretary would be saying, the president realizes how much the economy sucks for all the American families out there right now. How many people would have voted differently?
Well, a lot should have. And the way that I would describe the economy right now is, you ever been driving down the road and you think, uh-oh, I think I've got a flat tire? And then but you're like, you turn the music down and you start listening and your car starts to handle a little bit differently. We've got a flat tire. And the question is it going to be one of those flat tires that goes flat immediately, right? And suddenly the tire starts shredding and everything's falling out in your back window, and you're like, man, I don't even know if I have time to hardly get across the road to pull off on the side of the road. That's where we are right now. The tire is flat. You can hear it, right? Like you know, driving the car, everybody out there who's involved in the economy knows what that feels like. And the question is, how bad is the blowout going to be and how fast is it going to get here? And certainly for Biden and his administration, Buck, what they're sitting around saying is, we want to get through the midterms 46 days away before the full calamity reveals itself. And we need to distract people by going after Donald Trump. We need to distract people by talking about abortion, something that's not going to change based on the midterm election, and not look at what's directly in front of them and react to it.